nothing alike. We's different. You ain't the hustling type. We's different.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls of YouTube world, CJ Rose's back in the building. Welcome back to the channel. Man, let me pull back a little bit because we got something to talk about. All right, so Twitter drops a bombshell of a trade that has happened in the NBA. I haven't talked about the NBA in about a month and a half. So there's a couple things to talk about, but we're going to talk about this right now. So Twitter drops a bombshell. James Harden, as a result of what he said last night, and I'm assuming that James Harden probably just pushed himself more out the door for it. James Harden has officially been traded to the Brooklyn Nets. So James Harden has now been traded to the team that he wanted to go on, and has been rumored that he wanted to go on for months now. Now he's been traded to that team. Am I surprised? I actually am kind of surprised. I didn't think after last night what he said, and I think we all know he said, there's only so much I can do. I love this city, but I can't, there's nothing I can do anymore. So it's like he just pushed himself completely out the door with that. So James Harden has been traded to the Brooklyn Nets. This is a team he wanted to go on. This is a team that it's been rumored for months. Now, this trade could not have happened if it was. This is pretty much a four-way trade, a four-team trade, and it goes like this. So the Rockets. It was a four-way trade with the Rockets, the Nets, the Pacers, and the Cavs. So each team got something. So it goes like this. The Cavaliers have received Jared Allen and Taurean Prince. Okay, I'm going to talk about that. The Pacers received Karis LeVert and a second rounder. Okay. The Nets get Harden. Okay. And the Rockets get Victor Oladipo, Dante Exum. I think his name is Caruth. I think I said Caruth, something like that. 3 Brooklyn first rounders, the 22, 24, and 26 pick. Oh, I'm sorry, for 2022, 2024, 2026. Sorry. The 1 Milwaukee first round pick, which is for 2022, which is next year, unprotected. And 4 Brooklyn first round swaps for this year's draft, 2023, 2025, and 2027. Okay. Based on what the GM said, I didn't think they would grant James Harden his dream destination, but they did. Because the way James Harden sounded last night, he sounded defeated, which I don't blame him. Like, he's not even playing to his original stand. Like, the last 2 seasons, he's been dropping 30 plus. He's only dropping 26. Even though he's consistent, like, he's averaging 11 assists. James Harden is still playing very efficiently, but at the same time, he's not playing to what his standard is, because he doesn't want to be in Houston. And I don't blame. I understand. I don't blame him, because they didn't like. Because once everything started folding back in the summer, there was just so much. There was just the dominoes were falling. Like, they traded Westbrook before the season started. Harden was next, but the GM didn't want to trade him. And they were talking about it too. They were literally talking about it last night. They were talking about Harden is gonna get traded before the trade deadline. Apparently it took 24 hours just for that to happen. So what does this do for Brooklyn? Brooklyn gets pretty much the best scorer in the game in James Harden, obviously. To add him with KD, that's dangerous. Woo! And Kyrie as well. That's Brooklyn definitely set themselves up to be a top contender, if not a deadlock in NBA Finals. What is the problem, though? You had to give up a good couple pieces to make that happen. For instance, I don't think giving up Jared Allen was a good idea. And if you were going to give up one of the centers, I would have given up DeAndre Jordan. I would not have given up Jared Allen. No, because Jared Allen has more upside. Why would you give him up? Taurean Prince is a good backup. I don't know about giving him up. And Karis LeVert. I mean, if Harden was going to get traded, Karis LeVert was going to be part of it. So I mean, regardless, Karis LeVert was completely out the door. If Brooklyn wanted Harden and they were going to make it happen, so he was completely out the door. So that's something I just put your hands up, call it a day. But while this somewhat benefits Brooklyn, I don't know how this is going to be now. I mean, the projected lineup now is now DeAndre's going to start center. I don't know who the power forward is. I don't know if it's Jeff Green at power forward or KD, but it's one of the two. Now you got Harden and Kyrie at. Yo, Kyrie picked the wrong time to be absent from this team. He picked the wrong time. Because a backcourt of James Harden and Kyrie, on paper, that sounds dangerous. Because we're talking about two of the best ISO players in the game. But it's also bad as well because they're two of the best ISO players in the game. Yo, Harden may be averaging 11 assists, but we're talking about Kyrie, a guy who doesn't really facilitate as much. And then we're also talking about Harden, who, I don't know. Like, he averaged a lot of assists because he didn't want to be on that team. Obviously, he only averaged 26. So add that with KD, and that's a three-headed trio I can get behind. If they can match it, if they can mesh it together before June, before the playoffs start in June, then they got something. Then Brooklyn may be locked for the finals. Maybe locked in to win the title this year. Who knows? I don't know right now. But in terms of the other teams, for the Pacers, I don't think the Pacers lose. I think they pretty much stay the same because Victor Oladipo was playing well this season. He was averaging 20 over the first 9 games, so he's been playing very well. But you switch him out for Karis LeVert, who I think if he becomes the focal point, not the focal point, but if he becomes the main scorer on that team, then they got something. I think Karis LeVert will flourish. Definitely in Indiana. I think he'll definitely do well. For Cleveland lost a couple. They lost Dante Exum, and Caruth, but they got Jared Allen, who is a very good center. So now they got a three-headed monster in Andre Drummond, JaVale McGee, and Jared Allen. We're talking about Andre Drummond, one of the best rebounder in the game. And then we're talking JaVale McGee and Jared Allen, two of the best defensive centers in the game. That is, Cleveland got more depth now, along with Taurean Prince. Taurean Prince can give you a bucket. He can give you a bucket. I don't know, bro. I don't know. Cleveland could be doing something. Still, they got Darius Garland and Colin Sexton. Cleveland may be doing something. Look out for Cleveland. Because Cleveland's already playing well. They definitely could make make noise now. And in terms of the Rockets, I think the Rockets will be fine. Will it be a playoff team? Depends now. But you take out Harden for Oladipo? Victor Oladipo and John Wall in the backcourt? I don't know. That dynamic sounds amazing. Because they're two defensive guards. I mean, John Wall isn't a defensive-minded guard, but he's defensive enough. So I don't know. Something might go down. I don't know. I like the dynamic. And it shows a lot. Plus, they got a couple picks for the future. Even though technically, if you got some from the Nets and the Bucks, those picks really don't matter in a sense. So you might as well use them for trade bait if you want to. But yeah. Hmm. I don't know how it's gonna be. This is already a weird season as it is. The beginning of the season's already as weird as possible. But with this, it makes the season a little bit more interesting. So I don't know. I don't know. Who played tonight out of all four? I think Cleveland played tonight. So they'll be without Dante. Well, they'll be fine. I think Indiana played tonight. They'll be without Victor Oladipo. Um, who else? Brooklyn played last night. I don't know if they played tonight. And Houston played last night. I don't think they played tonight either. So they probably don't play till probably Thursday or Friday. So yeah, this is interesting. This is an interesting dynamic. I'm looking forward to how this all goes. Now Kyrie is still MIA, missing in action, so we don't even know how that's gonna go. But I guess picking up Harden at this point in time is probably the best move for them because in fact they're missing Kyrie. So now you got Harden who wanted to be in Brooklyn. And now KD and Harden can hold it down. We're gonna see some magic happen up in Brooklyn, man. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what's up. But man. I gotta think about this. This is crazy. I was playing 2K, minding my business. I just get that. That's crazy. But you know what it is, man. It's been Rose, man. Thank you for watching. Thank you for all the love support. As always, you already know how we do it, man. Like, comment, subscribe. Please share the video if you like. If you appreciate me, I'm about to share it all over the place. You already know how we do. So until next time, peace, love, wanted. Yeah.